Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, and this is an early morning download and transmission. I'm just letting Diva Pramal play in the background just so I'm grounded and centered in the harmonic symphony that is this moment. And in this moment, I am using the music to ground myself, to focus my energies, and to anchor the peace of mind and peace of spirit and centeredness and connectiveness with the universe. Okay, I'm going to turn it down some. It'll still be playing in the background. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it, and it'll do what it needs to do for me. Um, Beloveds, this is a kind of, like I said, I woke up with the need to do this. And it's funny that I use that word need to do this because this is a transmission video, whatever you want to call it, communication about human beings and understanding and understanding what need is and not fearing need and knowing that it's okay to need. Um, like I said, this is coming from a place of my own evolution, a place within that I've been observing myself, and also a mirror that Spirit has given me to reflect parts of me that I am unwilling to see, and to understand that that reflection is reflecting parts of me. And it's parts of me that I am judging in the reflection. When I judge them, I'm judging myself. When I'm pronouncing condemnation or even compliments or praise, I'm doing it for myself as well because that person is reflecting something in me that I need to work on in order to understand and fully embrace my own humanity, so to speak. I'm also going to be using the deck today that I'm going to be teaching out of. That deck, like I said, is the um, Carol Bridges Medicine Woman. And this is a inner guidebook. And when I began my healing journey, this was how it began for me. It began with this. This was one of the tools that Mama gave my human guide to walk me through so that I could identify myself with the most ancient of wisdom and teaching, and so that I could use that to heal what needed to be healed within me. I could use that when parts of me died to honor those parts. I could use it to revive, to renew, to resurrect parts of me that I still needed, but that needed to change, that needed to evolve, that need to be reseeded, replanted, repotted, so to speak. Stay tuned, beloved, because I am going to be offering a class in this. This is what Mama has me getting ready to do. And I know a lot of you are saying, why does she always tell what she's going to do? Doesn't she know by now that people are going to steal her idea and just go do it? Beloveds, energy is what it is. If you believe another's energy can give you more than what you can find here with me, I love you enough to say, I bless you on your journey, and I bless them. You're not going to get what you need from every single body. Every body is not the perfect reflection or mirror for you. Everybody is not in your soul collective. Just because you admire certain traits or certain tendencies that you admire or that you lack within yourself and you put on the pedestal in others. Observe yourself. Observe your own interactions with others. Observe what you need from them. Observe what you need, why you need them around you, or why you stay around them. Observe. Okay, I'm just going to get into it. That was, I guess, the introduction part of this. I'm going to do the speaking portion. You can say it's channeled. You can say however you choose to. I'm a vessel, so um, I'm giving you what I have received. Whatever words you deem necessary to identify that makes you comfortable. You go ahead, baby. You go ahead and make yourself comfortable with me because I'm here um, for us. For us. I'm not just doing this for me. I'm doing this for us because for me, this portion is this 3-year period for me has been another descent into my own inner hell, so to speak. It is I compare it to the descent of Inanna. When you are searching and seeking for your truest, highest self, for your most spiritually mature self, then you have to descend into your shadows. And you have to learn how to communicate with your shadow parts. And you have to understand that they are not your enemy. Your ego is not your enemy, even though that's what I've been saying for years. I was just shown your ego is your inner child. And not only is it your inner child, but it is your inner child from the beginning of your separation. And when I say your separation, I mean your need to identify yourself as more, as broader, as a broader expression of the divine source. Okay? We are not separate. We have never been separate from. We are part of. Just like a cob of corn. All those kernels make up the cob, make up the corn. You don't just get one little niblet and say, okay, I got corn. That's it. No, you got the whole cob. And each one of those kernels has its own unique flavor, has its own color, has its own texture. And when you bite into it, you receive all that it has to give. And that is how we need to begin to understand ourselves as we begin to emerge more holistically, more holy. And that's what we're searching for. That's what we need. We have a need to be holy. Just as we have a need to breathe. Just as we have a need to eat. Just as we have a need to quench our thirst. Just as we have a need to love and be loved. It's okay to need, beloveds. We come here as infants, and when the doctor or the midwife, first thing, as soon as she takes that baby out of the birth canal in the womb and puts it on the mama, skin on skin. Why? Because that infant, that baby, needs the contact. It needs that flesh on flesh, that skin on skin, that warmth. It's just been taken from its environment of a womb. And the quickest way for it to be reconnected is that skin on skin, the warmth, the smell, the taste, the touch. The baby doesn't have to put his tongue on the mother for it to understand what she tastes like. Because as soon as it opens its breath, everything that is in that environment is ingested and is analyzed. And the mother registers like that. To say you don't need is to say you don't need your mother, is to say you don't need love. It is how it was shown to me, because I've been working from this premise, beloveds, myself, that, let me give it to you the way it was given to me for me to understand it. My parents died, both of them, when I was in my teens. My father when I was 14, my mother when I was 18. Yeah, 18. This left such a void inside of me. When my father died, my mother became even more abusive, and I was taken from my mother and placed in foster care. One of the ways that I one of the ways I protected myself in this situation, 14 years old, being put out there with nothing and nobody. One of my ways for protecting myself was not to need anybody, not to need love, not to need family. Only God, only Spirit. Many of us, many of us, many of us protect ourselves in this way. We tell ourselves, this is our mind chatter. This is our inner child protecting us with the toolbox that it has and the tools that are in there. We're working from a child's toolbox. We are spiritually mature now. We need to put that toolbox down and understand that new tools are available now. That needing does not make you so vulnerable that you can be hurt, that you will be just destroyed because you'll be so hurt. Needing and knowing that you need makes you strong. Do you know how it makes you strong? Because it connects you to the wisdom that birthed you as an expression of what it needed, what she needed. We need love. There is a LL Cool J song that says, I need love. Out of our own mouths, we say what we need, but we don't hear ourselves because of our inner child programming and protection. And we have got to understand and have that communication with that inner child that it's okay. It's okay now. Let me protect you. Let me need you just like you need me now. And this is the marriage. This is the Hieros Gamos. This is the sacred union. This is the realization of the Godhead. This is the connection. This is what we have to understand. Need is not about survival. It goes much deeper than that. Need exists on a plane of infinite intelligence that we have not the capabilities of even trying to fathom at this particular moment. But because we are awakening to need and what we need, and that it's okay to need. As a matter of fact, needing is a part of your sovereign right as a spiritual human being. And I'm sorry about the tears. They are what they are. Um, what else? um, find peace with what you need. And as long as what you need is not hurting another, Acknowledge it, own it, explore it, express it. It's part of what you need, it's part of your journey. If you deny it, if you repress it, if you resist it, it's just going to keep coming up. Beloveds, we are here not to fit in. We are not here to be carbon copies of this matrix system. We are here to blow this shit up and fuck it up every which way we can. Do you hear me? Because it is a lie. It is the Antichrist. Okay? And it is that abusive father. And we are all suffering from this relationship of our evolution and of knowing that there is a spiritual battle as above, so below, as within, so without. It is what it is, beloveds. And as soon as you know your place within it, balance begins. You start to see things differently with your senses. You start to hear things differently. You start to feel things differently. You can work from a place that does not hold resentment, that does not foster resentment, that does not nourish resentment. It only nourishes unconditional love and the expansion of that. That's the seed. That's the thought. That's the word. Need love. Let the world know you need love. We are told to ask and we will receive. If the very thing you need is the very thing you deny, then you won't ask for it, will you? And if you don't ask for it, beloveds, you won't receive it. You'll keep going in this 3D way of knowing and being because you have not raised your vibration. You have not looked into your own eye. You have not looked within. You have not seen the God within you. You have not recognized the goddess within you. Be it male or female, masculine or feminine, we have both. And you need to, those of us who have, with my traumas, from molestation to rape, to physical and emotional abuse by my mom, to just everything, there comes a point in your understanding of yourself and who you are. One of the things that has always held me was my name, Valerie. Comes from valor, means strong. I was taught that in kindergarten, I think. We had to understand what our names meant and how we identified ourselves. And This is how we got to know our classmates and how we got to identify that our name meant something. What did it mean? Mine meant strong. And that's who I became. I became strong because that's who Valerie is. Valerie is strong. That is what nourished me. I needed that identity. So don't say what you don't need. And don't say that by not needing, you have everything. That's a defense mechanism. That's a reaction to your fear. That's what your inner child, how your inner child programmed you to face this cold ass, brutal ass world. Don't need nothing, baby. You don't need nothing from them. You good. You don't need their friendship. You don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. You don't need their love. You don't need their understanding. You don't need this. You don't need, because you already have. You give it to yourself. You've got it. You don't need it. Baby, baby. If that was the case, you would not be existing in this realm, in this planet. This is a planet of need. And when we get through crawling around being so full of our own shit and thinking we don't stink, we will understand that, oh baby, we need each other. We need the diversity. We need the reflections. We need the teachers that we have in our lives because they are here to teach us just how much we need them and why we need them. Nothing is coincidence, beloveds. The people that you love, they satisfy a need in you. A need that some of us can't even identify or put into words because it's beyond words, beloved. If you have the capacity to empower your inner child, that portion of you that will take over and say, you don't need this. That portion is mothering you. That part of you is mothering you because you need it. A part of you stepped forward to handle whatever comes at you. And it tells you, don't need. And you'll be okay. Don't be needy. Because if you're needy, this world will eat you up. So don't be needy, baby. Be anything but needy. Be the opposite of needy. And the world will respect you. And you will hold your place, chasing your tail, because you don't need nothing. A dog that chases his tail thinks it don't need nothing and nobody. And you wind up chasing your own tail. Okay, that's 30 minutes and 22 seconds, and we're going to move into see what the card said. I have spoken my piece, so to speak. Um, let's get to it. Um, when I was getting my decks out, I'm going to read from the, okay. I don't know why I'm being told this. I'm being told to let this be its own video without the cards, and then just do the cards in another video. So, um, I am in listening mode. Excuse me for fidgeting. Um, it is what it is. I am in listening mode. Yesterday I was told to um, take a nap, and I didn't want to take a nap. You know, it was still midday, and I did not want to take a nap. I did not feel sleepy. I did not want to listen to spirit, you know, and I felt that I didn't need to listen. Did not need to listen, okay? And I'm realizing, oh yes, you needed to go to sleep at that time, because you know what? That may have been a connection that you missed out on because you being hard-headed and you don't want to. That's still that inner child in you. And you're letting the inner child be the boss of you. That resistance. I'm observing the resistance in me. That's what I'm doing. So when you see me doing the raspberries and all of that kind of stuff, it's because my inner child is acting a plumb fool because it's being removed from its place of power. Okay? It is a process. And I recognize that. And my guides recognize that. And they are being especially gentle and tender with me right now, because I'm realizing this is one of the deepest transitions that I have gone through. Um, but that I am more equipped right now in this moment to deal with this transition, this transmutation, this ascension process than ever before. And that is because I am, for the first time, really recognizing me and being okay with needing again, and needing from outside of myself. Because see, that inner child, that portion of me, what it was telling me for so long was, you are by yourself. Your safest world, your best world is inside of yourself. Create that world. Live from that world. Be from that world. Be from that place. You're not a part of this world. You don't fit. You look at things and you see things that other people don't see. You hear things that other people don't hear. You know things that other people don't know and that you should not, by any kind of rational, logical thinking, you shouldn't know, but you do. When you walk between the worlds, you understand, you begin to learn. I'm learning the need for bridges, rainbow bridges. And we have to build these rainbow bridges. And we have to anchor these rainbow bridges right now upon this plane, because this is the hope of humankind. This is the journey. Reaching that bridge, and that bridge will take you higher. There are those who are becoming more and more aware of how to build these bridges, or how to give birth to these bridges, or how to allow these bridges to enter into this dimension, because they do exist. It's just a matter of vibrating high enough to attract them to you. That's where the law of attraction comes in. And I'm hoping that this is resonating with you. Like I said, I woke up with this knowing I had to, um, knowing I had to do this, and being okay um, with that, needing to do this. Do you hear what I'm saying? Why do you do this, Valerie? Because I need to. I need to. This is part of me. This is part of my journey. This is what I agreed to. This is what I designed, what I created, and I'm manifesting it. And I'm present with it more than I have ever been before, as I realized I gave birth to it, and I need it just as much as it needs me. I gave birth to physical mass and matter because I needed to. I needed more of me, more understanding of me, more of me. That's what God and goddesses do. That's how galaxies and stars and universes and everything else is born, beloved. And whether you're going to be a sun or a planet or a star is up to you. How much you carry, what you agreed to. We are all royal. We all wind up in the heavens one way or another. And we, just as we look up at those stars and use them to navigate within and without, those stars serve. They still serve. In the gaseous form, in that gaseous state, the intelligence, infinite intelligence, still shines for eternity. This is our mother. This is who we have inside of us. We have her abilities. We have her ability to love. We have her need to love and be loved. That is why we reproduce in the beginning. It was out of love and great joy. And we have to get there again. Okay, beloveds, 4042. I am going to, like I said, stop this video and let this be what it is. And the second portion of this video, we will get into the cards dealing with need and what we need to know about need. So, here we go. I'm going to end this portion, and I will be, like I said, I will be right back. Here we go. Doesn't want to stop.